WIIFTBPM.
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
What's up, Chicago? This is your man, Maze Jackson, host of The Maze Jackson Show, and I don't know if you've heard the news, but we're moving to the afternoons.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
That's right. After 5 years of doing the mornings, we're moving to 3 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So don't worry. We're still going to ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said. It's the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Don't miss it.
Steve Stanton.
See, I remember the first day we met, a Thursday night at the club I'll never forget. Do you remember the words that I said? One night in my bed you'll never regret. And you, with your pretty brown eyes, I knew, baby, you would change my life. And you opened up my eyes to see I'm excited for our future, but I love our history. Let's throw back to the day that we first met. Let's throw back, I never will forget. Let's throw back to when we fell in love. Let's throw back, babe. I wanna throw back, babe. Is it just me? Don't you miss those nights sexing on the beach, playing Isley Brothers in between the sheets? And now we're taking flights from London to Belize, and we're popping bottles, endless shopping sprees. Still sexy as can be. I knew you're still the only one for me. Yeah. I'm feeling lucky as can be. I'm excited for our future, but I love our history. Yeah. To the day that we first met, let's throw back. I really wanna know. Let's throw back. Let's go back. Fell in love. Let's throw back. Let's go. I wanna throw back. Oh, come on now. We were making love. The first time we let's reminisce of the whip. Making love. Come on now. Let's throw back. Oh, all I wanna do is throw it back. That's all I wanna do. Come on now. Let's throw back, babe. I wanna throw back, babe. Let's throw back, everybody. Let's throw back. If you love somebody, let's throw back. Talk about the love. Let's throw back. Let's throw. I wanna throw back. Reminisce on how it used to be. Oh yeah.
WIITPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the past. crowd. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. So many shady characters like Madigan and Blotto. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steel on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let this give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Good afternoon, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show once again on our fourth day live in the afternoon. Riis, it's a nice, shiny day outside. I see why we can't never get no boats coming down our river, man? I don't know what the deal is, but look, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Once again in the afternoon, I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler in the building, and we are here back at you live and direct on a Thursday. It is actually Thursday, what is this, the 19th? Thursday, May 19th. Riis, the month is flying by, bro. The month is like moving crazy, like out of here. Like the 19th already means it's only 11 days. Man, you know summer kicks off with, what is that? It's Memorial Day weekend, right? Memorial Day is in May, and Labor Day is in September, right? Man, I'm excited though. I'm telling you, man, the summer is almost here. I feel like they playing with us though, Riis. You know, I come outside in the mornings, I be like, why you playing? You know, I think about you, I be like, why you playing with me? Because you know, that's you. Why is the weather playing with me? I don't know, man. It's crazy out here. All right, look, Maze Jackson Show here on a Thursday. We sound all right? We good? We straight, Riis? You making me nervous. You know you be making them sounds. I be like, because you know the mic be picking up everything. I can't even whisper hardly no more. Y'all hear us? We sounding clear? Good out there? Give us a thumbs up if we good. We was sounding kind of crispy yesterday, Riis. You hear that paper? And you see, I figured out my headphones too. See how I figured them out. Like, you know black people don't never want to read the instructions. So I just took them out. I'm like, they earplugs, how hard could they be? You saw me all day yesterday, I was trying to figure it out. I'm twiddling with my ears and simple instructions. But you know what? I ain't even want to crack the book. Riis, do you read the instructions when you get the book? Like when you get something new out the box?
No, we just look at the box. We just look at it and see how it's supposed to look, and that's it.
Riis, I got
always some screws still there, a piece still there, but
man, I got my son a PlayStation 5, right? So we got the PlayStation 5. He takes it out of the box. He goes and takes it up in his room. I messed up and let him get out of the house without breaking the box down and throwing it away, right? So he's so excited to get the thing, as excited as Mazon's gonna get, that he took it upstairs, got ready. Then when it was time for him to go, because you know now he can leave. He can say, "Dad, I'm about ready to leave," and I'd be like, "Hold on, I still got to tell you can leave." But he'd go jump in his car and he'd drive off. And so Riis, I wound up having to take the box out. Why, Riis, was the instructions for the whole thing in the box unopened? Like he ain't even look at the. How you get a PlayStation? How you get a $600 joint and leave the instructions in the box. Like, I feel like I don't even be wanting to break the box down. I got boxes, like when I get something like good, man, I keep the box. I'm starting to throw it away, because if we kept the boxes around here, man, we would have never had no space for nothing.
Well, I always keep my PlayStation box just in case if anything happened and something like that. Then I got like the little stuff on the back of it, a proof of purchase, and then it's like easier for PlayStation to like get like verify that PlayStation.
Oh, okay. See, Riis. See, you thinking on a whole nother level. I'm not even thinking like that. But
I definitely need a PS5 though, so I don't know how you got it. I don't know what you did.
Why you ain't do what Devo told you? Devo told you go on Home Shopping Network.
No, he never told me that.
Yes, he did. You was like, dang, good point. I think what he said it. No, that's not what I did.
See, I need to.
Oh, you need to do what I did.
Direct plug.
Riis, see, Riis.
Got my money. I just need
Riis,
direct plug.
Riis. See, now if I see. Well, I guess, Riis, let me ask my man. I ask him. I check him out. I ask him. You know what I'm saying? As I tell you, I'm trying to not be the average Negro anymore, so I'm not going to hate and be like, I got it and you don't have it, so you can't. You know? Because there is some joy in having it and don't nobody else have it. Right? Like, I didn't realize how big a deal it was. Like I really didn't realize that. I don't play games like that, though. Because y'all be playing on the internet and people be talking smack, and I want to fight.
You can buy them and sell them easily for $800.
I think dude tried to tell me that. I got it for $6. He was like, I ain't even going to tax you.
Yeah, like somebody easily pay $700, $800 for that easily.
Really? See, but the thing for me is, Riis, I don't mean this in a funny way, but I feel like I'd rather have the exceptional item than the $200, right? Like, yeah, you could make it come up. If I had like 20 of them, maybe I would care. But for $200, nah, I'm keeping it. Like, that ain't enough profit.
And then for Christmas, you can sell that thing for $1,000 easily at Christmas time.
See, but it's still, you need bulk. Like, if you only got one and you get $500 come up, I mean, I could sell it for $500 because I don't play it, but because I know everybody want it, I want my son to have it. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show here on a Thursday. We got to figure out how to fix this clock in here, man. It's got the right date, but the wrong date. So I'm about to be saying Wednesday when it's really Thursday, so we done already got over the hump. So look, it's the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace. But I got to say what's up to my man, DJ Riis the Ruler. We've been talking back and forth. But DJ Riis the Ruler, how you feeling today, dog?
Blessed by the best, and the only thing that make it better is a PlayStation 5, but I'm blessed by the best. You know the rest.
Oh, so if you want to impress me, you're supposed to rhyme it.
I'll rhyme it.
Like PlayStation, look, PlayStation 5, so I'm feeling alive. It's your man, DJ Riis the Ruler.
Like, blessed by the blessed, a PlayStation 5 will make it the best or something like that.
Right. See. But you gotta be spontaneous, Riis.
Gotcha.
You can't get it when it's like, you got to be like, then I gotta be like, dang. You know what one of my mentors said? He said, position yourself where you cannot be denied. Make yourself be in a position with people where they can't tell you no. Right? Like, it's just hard for them to tell you no. So, that's what you do in the future, man. All right, yo, Riis, that's me and you. We in here in the building. Actually, we got some guests coming in today, but we still gonna take this bad boy up. Let's get this thing up to 60,000 feet. Let's get it up and away. The soul plane is up, out of here on an afternoon flight. That's right, 3 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday. And Riis, we gotta swing through Atlanta and pick up our brother Anthony Muhammad. And Sister Karima gonna be in the building with us. But check it out. Last time they brought us some wine. Non-alcoholic wine, but wine nonetheless. I don't know how it's wine and it's non-alcoholic, though.
You sound like my girl. She's just like,
Joe.
Just not wine.
Just say, I got some
juice.
I have grape. You can change the name. But Riis, I just don't know if I want to drink wine and not get drunk. Right? And Brother Anthony and his wife, they lead by example, so they not gonna have you. But that make me think of when we was little kids and you a fake like you was drinking something. Like, ooh, I got some. You like, ooh, and yeah. So anyway, Brother Anthony and Sister Karima are going to be here, but they are going to be zooming in some guests. Have you heard of the Black Cityhood movement?
No.
Have you ever heard of the process of cityhood?
No.
So basically, it's when, like, cities, people decide they want to secede from a city. So, like, say, you've been to Buckhead in Atlanta?
Oh, yeah.
So, you know how Buckhead is different than the rest of Atlanta? Sort of, right? Like, I thought Buckhead was downtown when I went to Atlanta, right? And then you come to realize that that's really a pretty high-class, wealthy white enclave. But I thought it was black because of the Lenox Square Mall. But what you realize is that that's like the 40% of Atlanta's tax rate base comes from there. And they said they was, when the black people get in control, they be like, man, we pulling out. Nope. Nah, we ain't finna. Y'all are not investing our money in the Heralds. It's not. Once they saw the sit-down Heralds, they was like, that's it. We done. So we're going to be talking to them today about the Black Cityhood movement, where black municipalities and unincorporated areas around Atlanta are trying to form their own city. Like Riis, it seemed like, they trying to do the reverse, separate but equal. So we're going to be talking to the mayor as well as the planner for that with Brother Anthony and Sister Karima. I want to find out what's going on with them bees, though. And they probably, them chickens, they got them chickens. How much you think I'm going to have to ask Brother Anthony, how much do the chickens sell for before you start cooking them? I don't know, man. All right. Riis, did you see the mayor crash the press conference yesterday? The mayor pulled the gangster move of gangster moves. So yesterday at St. Sabina, Father Flager, along with the governor, along with a bunch of state reps, along with the Speaker of the House, along with Cam Buckner, was signing a bill to ban ghost guns. They did not invite the mayor. The mayor showed up anyway and walked straight up to the front with the police chief and got right in front. Meanwhile, it was Cam's bill, and he announced he running for mayor. She thanked everybody, was like, this is my joint. How y'all, Riis? You ever not been invited somewhere and come anyway?
Oh, yeah.
You have? Man,
Oh,
if I
yeah.
ain't invited, I'm not coming. Where have you not been invited and came anyway?
Like a birthday party or something.
Like when they don't want you there?
For sure.
That's crazy, man. That is completely crazy. I just felt like, wow, the mayor is an OG. Like, and you see the pictures? She's standing smack in the middle. Like, you can see, though, during the press conferences, Riis, what, do you hear that? During the press conferences, Riis, they stood in front of her. Like, the governor stood in front of her. But, like, when it was time for the front page, if you see the front page of the Sun-Times, she is dead in the middle. And she ain't even thank Cam, man. Riis, what? So when you knew you wasn't supposed to be welcome there, what made you come?
First, I went and got the coldest outfit I felt out the mall.
Okay.
And it was just, I just showed up. I felt like I wasn't invited, and then it was like some beef and drama going. I was young in my 20s, but oh yeah, I definitely showed up. I showed up, and they was looking.
Did you come with people, or did you come by yourself?
I mean, we kind of knew like the same people, so that's how I knew about it,
Oh, so it was like y'all cool with the same people,
Right.
but they didn't invite you
Right.
because you and dude ain't cool, or
Right.
you and whoever ain't cool. But everybody is. Y'all all know the same people. Everybody cool
Right,
except
but they
y'all
ain't
two.
tell me, but that person ain't tell me that we weren't cool. But I had been hearing it from multiple people, so I act like it was all good, man. Hey, how you doing, man? Happy birthday to you. You know what I'm saying? I was acting, but
Did you bring him a bottle?
Oh yeah, I got some. Yeah,
See, that's when you gotta do it. You gotta be like, yeah, you gotta get the best gift. Who bought you that?
Showed them up. I got him your little favorite little Remy bottle, man. There you go. And then I had went on. But oh yeah, I definitely went some places I knew I wasn't invited to.
Oh, okay. All right. I remember one time I went somewhere and I wasn't invited. dude walked up to me and was like, "What are you doing at my town?" I was like,
I was one of the Greeks that when we was into it, if we was into it with the Sigmas and they had threw a party, I was going.
Reese.
I was going.
Oh, Reese, I got you. That's because y'all just knew better than to get into it with the Sigmas.
No, I was going. I didn't care who he was into. I was going.
Reese, that was me though. That was me.
You, that was you.
That was me.
I was going.
And I'm gonna tell you, you better be cool because I might show up with itchy scratchy on you. What you say? Oh, come on. I take that back, Reese. In college, there was no way I was not invited. I would come to your house. I'd be like.
Yeah, but I'm sure. But it'd be that face to see when you go somewhere, especially when you steal the show, it'd be that. But then when you come and you collect it and you play it cool because that person already looking for you to like overreact. But when you play it cool and you smile, that kill them even worse. So yeah.
That's how it be, Reese, when I go places where it's black people, and it's regular black people and fancy black people. And the fancy black people be like, damn. Because the regular black people be like, man, dog, what's in it for the black people? Right? But the ones, you know how it be, Reese. I do. I take it back. I've been there. I be there. I think, you know what, dog? I'll be honest with you. I think if I wasn't married to, if I wasn't married, I don't think I'd get invited nowhere. None of the fancy stuff. I wouldn't be invited to nothing fancy. I'm just telling you.
It's all of them go to Carrie. They all go there.
Hey, we not.
All of them go to your wife.
Yes.
All go to your wife. That's funny.
Yeah. Right, and I be the one talking about I don't want no group gift, but I don't want no I don't want nothing for the house. But if it wasn't for them invitations they came to the house, I'd be in the house all the time.
You're like, nah, this is my invitation. They didn't send you one. I told them I don't like group. I told them I don't like group invitations. I gave them your email.
Right, I better be
go
cool.
Check your spam.
Look, let me go check my spam. Let me go get that white Remy and be like, baby, you want some of you want some of this white Hennessy?
This actually is yours.
This actually is for you, baby. Thank you very much. All right, man. Did you see the story about dog? They are wearing your boy Irvin out, dog.
Yeah, man.
They wearing him out. They said his girl was at the cannabis dispensary. She got into it with the security. Hey, man, but can you imagine if you dating the mayor and a security guard try to tell you what you can't do? A security guard. Reese, I do feel sort of like, so I felt like the first thing I was gonna say is, remember when a girl said, you probably work for my auntie.
Yeah. My man is the man.
You know who my man is, right? Right? And Reese, I feel like if you the man and you show up and your girl is I feel like, Reese, you the mayor of the town, your girl gets pulled over by security. The security guard manhandled your girl. Manhandled her. And my thing is, she still got a case. Why is this a news story? I'm just saying, Reese. Like, your girl gets manhandled by security and you're the mayor. What you supposed to do? Well, I'm going to tell you what I would do, Reese. You got a phone call, dog? Dang, dog, you blowing up? That's how you do it?
I don't even know.
Go ahead, that's Vince. It's probably downstairs. It's probably the door. It's probably buzzing in, man. Reese getting calls on the jet. Reese, did anybody ever work at the restaurant or like work at Burger King or McDonald's and you get a call at the job?
No, but I did used to get a call at one of my phone jobs though. And I was on the call sometime, but
they would be monitored. Like, did you ever? You don't remember? See, when I was a kid, we worked and it was one phone, right? And people would know you was at work and they'd call you at work. You'd be like, dog, you do realize it's the lunch rush, right? And they'd be calling you, man, I'm about to come up there and come through the drive-thru. Could you slide me an extra Whopper? No, fool. And now that you done called, See how people do you.
On the line, they can hear.
Right. Thank you.
I don't even know you.
You're right. Who? I'm
This
sorry.
gotta be a prank call. Hey, son, y'all know who this is? Mason.
Who are
I'm
you talking about?
amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I am amazing. Thank you. Have a nice day.
It's amazing. All right, y'all. Let me see what else I got. Early voting got pushed back 1 week. Today was supposed to be the opening of the super site down for the county where you could come and start voting right away, but it got pushed back a week because they needed to change the ballot. But early voting has started statewide. So keep that in mind. CTU election is tomorrow. There are, I think, 3 groups challenging, 2 other groups challenging Stacey Davis Gates. But I expect Stacey to come out of that. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen Stacey been Riis. Stacey Davis Gates got to be one of the best media trained. Boy, you cannot get her for nothing. But you see, she had a whole big old article in Chicago Magazine, and it was like the kinder, gentler Stacey. I was thinking she was gonna run for mayor, but then Cam ran. Man, we gotta talk to our dog Cam, man. What's going on with Cam Buckner? And you know, Riis, you know Cam running for mayor, right? You know, should I feel a certain way he ain't came over here? Nah, he probably busy.
Say the best for last.
Okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? My man Cam Buckner running for mayor. Did you see CPD shot a 13-year-old carjacker? Y'all happy now? CPD shot a 13-year-old carjacker in Oak Park. Y'all happy? I know y'all been saying get them damn kids.
Said CPD shot somebody in Oak Park?
Yep.
It must have been borderline.
He was, it was probably the chase. You can cross. Once you in the chase, you can go.
Oh, really? I thought it was on like 6 blocks right afterwards.
See, that's them Negro rules that people be making up. You know how black people just be making up rules? They be like, no, the law, my boy had told me that the police can only go 6 blocks across the line.
I ain't gonna lie
How you
to
think they chased the man all the way down the interstate?
I don't know. Because I thought them were state troopers.
Oh, they was.
Oh, yeah.
But, Riis, I ain't never heard no 6 blocks.
Hey, I don't know.
Riis.
I know it's a policeman in there. Somebody tell us, please. Is there a limit?
Riis made that up.
No, for real.
We should do a whole segment
on
things that black people make up and get your ass in jail.
Right.
Right? You thought, so you go 7 blocks. They be like, what you thought? You be like, you can't chase me now. You fool. Get in the car. Get in the car.
Thought they had to go like,
can't.
At that point, Oak Park police got to come.
You can't arrest me. You Chicago man if you don't get your ass.
In court, I'm innocent. He went 9 blocks. I did not do that. So is the crime in Chicago or in Oak Park? Which jail am I going to? You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to know.
The county.
But it was in Oak Park.
The county.
I can't go to Oak Park County.
Oak County is Cook County, baby. Cook County. Cook County.
He sent me to the one over there first.
All right, let me see what else we got. Hey, man. Io DeSumo. All rookie team. Shout out to Io, man. And ILL. You know that. Shout out to the Fighting Illini alum. Wait, well, he didn't graduate, but let me tell you what. The chancellor at U of I told me, I said, you know I didn't graduate, Mr. Chancellor. He was like, you've done well enough. You count. I still want my paper. But you know they done made Io Hall of Fame. He in the world. You think he gonna go back?
I don't know.
Would you go back, Riis?
After I was done of my college, of my professional career, for sure.
What about in the summertime?
Nah. In the summertime, if I'm playing a professional sport in the summertime, I would dedicate that to the professional sport. Because the wise man told me it's not what you do from 9 to 5, it's the 5 to 9 is what you do something from. So that's what I would do. Once I'm done, and then I go and get my degree, you know. Okay. But for sure, like how J.R. Smith did. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Now he playing college golf too.
And he won a Player of the Year in that
HBCU.
Yeah,
he's an HBCU. Yeah. Shout out to the HBCU. Speaking of HBCUs,
oh yeah,
what's up with Deion and Nick Saban? I thought they was Aflac brothers.
That's what I was saying too. Man, listen,
Aflac.
You gotta watch. Look, man, if
you cannot trust. I'm telling you what I tell you. I'm telling you in your life. there's going to come a moment when they have to make a choice, and I'm telling you now, you ain't gonna get the pick. I just felt like that was a disrespect for Nick Saban. Like, who wouldn't want to play for Neon Deion? Like, Black? I mean, like, Jackson State could become a fabled team, like, if Deion Sanders stay there. You know he ain't coaching for the money, Riis. He coaching because, remember I told you my plan about the HBCUs. If all the superstar professional athletes went to HBCU and started coaching, we could take, man, Nick Saban mad because he ain't come to Alabama?
Yeah, you know, I'm a Roll Tide fan, and like I said, I didn't, man.
That was
knew what it was, and that's really what it was, and he knew, and you know, like how everybody said, now because of the new rule, you can start to make money off your likeness and everything, but it's, you know, so it's part of the deal. And what people don't understand is that he says that he doesn't entice. Now, some players may get something. Now they can get something for going to college now, compensations, but it's different now because now I can, hey man, well Dion or this organization said I can get this if I come that. Whereas it's been from Alabama to where you just come in now and they start to make money like that. So they've been like doing the same exact thing, except now you can actually pay a college player.
See, I feel like Bama, here goes my thing. That evens stuff up.
It does.
It evens stuff up. Like, Alabama, man, bro, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. But I just felt like if I was a black player and I was looking at that, like, I feel like Nick Saban shouldn't be getting black players. Like, if I got any influence on my kids' pick.
Just imagine. So you mean to tell me that Alabama school is so awesome that they got kids, they got number one recruits coming from California to come to the country and play in Alabama?
I understand that.
No, I'm just saying that's what he's really trying to explain to us, that you don't think that you giving this player
they
that
got
you can play.
Alumni, you got, man, bro, right?
Come on,
exactly.
man. Like, come on. You coming from California, you never left the, you know what I'm saying, West Coast to come and play for Alabama because they're that good. Like, nah, man. When somebody, and you could have played for UCLA that's been a dominant before and all this other, nah. So I'm saying, I think there should be an advantage to being black with black people. Like, we ain't got jack but sports and entertainment. So if you can't even have a leg up in sports and like, bro, we have to bow down in damn near every other space. In the words of my man Ness, we sing, dance, play ball,
entertain and crack jokes.
You feel me? That's what we do.
Man, Ness gonna be a prophet one day, man. All right, let me see what. Also, man, I want to talk to all the shorties that's in the car. Riis, we need to do like the parents do. Are the children watching? Are the kids watching? They might not, or you tuned into in the car? Like, cause the kids be on the way to the car. Right? Like they on the way, they ain't on the, like let me tell you, Riis, when Milan went to Skinner, we was in the car from 2:30 to 5. I just want to know if any of my young people out there still.
Where's y'all going?
Home. Traffic was bad, bro.
Home.
Riis.
Oh, y'all was coming from Neverland?
83rd, and we was going from the Skinner on Clybourne all the way to 83rd and Kedzie. And it was a beast. Man, do you know what it's like trying to get out of the Clybourne Triangle? Like at 5 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, once that traffic get going? Woo-wee! I'm just here to tell you, man. So if any kids are listening, man, give us a call. Shout out. We're going to have a kids check-in one of these days, man. Maybe we have to start at 2:30. Riis, I also think we need to have a podcast class. Like this summer, for the young people, I might have to hire you 2 days a week just to do the young people and teach them how to do podcasting and do all that stuff. And that could be part of our service for the young people. Like we could set up a bunch of setups. Like, we could do that at TP. Like everybody,
I like that.
Huh?
So I like that.
Yeah, I'm saying we could teach a class on how to do your own podcast, and then we could have all these young whippersnappers in the future, man, I'm excited about a lot of things we got going on. Man, plus I'm excited about the view. Man, where are the boats? Riis. And I love the fact that we got the track. You know they stop traffic every day for us. They stop traffic for us every day.
I'm just glad them bridges down behind you, man.
Man, we gonna have to talk to our mayoral candidates to see if they gonna let the bridges up. All right, Riis, look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We went a little bit over. This would be the time that we would welcome the Saints, but they ain't here yet, so we're gonna talk about that in a minute and everything else after these messages. We'll be right back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTBPM.
Maze Jackson.
What's up, Chicago? This is your man, Maze Jackson, host of the Maze Jackson Show. You hear me every single day ask the question, what's in it for the black people? Well, finally, y'all, we've got an answer, and it's called the Black People First Party. Meet us every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at TP, located at 5401 South Wentworth, Unit 17E. That's in the mall at the 55th and the Dan Ryan. And you join us every Saturday where we are taking our politics black. We'll teach you everything you need to know about the game, from how to collect a petition, to how to knock on a door, to even how to become the next mayor of the city of Chicago. That's right, y'all. It is the Black People First Party. Meet us every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at TP, located at 5401 South Wentworth in the mall at 55th and the Dan Ryan. And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said. This is a black people thing you wouldn't even understand.
Maze Jackson. And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good afternoon. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 3:43 p.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. As we head over to the Kennedy, overhead to the Loop will be 1 hour. Outbound is 54 minutes. On the Eaton's Deerfield to the Exchange is an hour and 3. Exchange to Deerfield will be 58 minutes. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 48 minutes. 1 hour back out to Thorndale. While the Stevenson is 39 minutes from I-355 to the Dan Ryan. Outbound will be an hour. The Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan will be 34 minutes and 34 minutes back out to I-80. While the Dan Ryan is 16 minutes to the Loop, 21 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Drive South, 55th to Jackson will be 11 minutes. Jackson to 55th will be 9. On the north side, Randolph to Bryn Mawr will be 8 minutes. Bryn Mawr to Randolph will be 16. Today's weather, it is currently 84 and partly cloudy. Today will be a high of 84 and a low of 55. I'm Riis the Ruler. Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
Glory to Gethsemane, they got to the grave, from the grave, back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show in the afternoon. It is 3:44, man. I'm telling you, the time be flying on this bad boy. I don't know what to say, but Riis, I gotta tell you, open up the phone lines, give us a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. I want to know if we got the shorties in the car. You had a good day at school. I know we moved the time around. Maybe you used to ride with us in the morning, but I want to, parents, if you got the kids in the car, I know y'all not supposed to, I'm supposed to say, if you have the children in the car. And do you say car or do you say car? If you got the children in the car, give us a call at 872-259-7474. We want to hear from you, man. We want to hear from our young people. We want to speak some life into you, some empowerment into you. We want you to see and feel the blackness. What's up, caller? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Who's on the line, Reese? Caller, you there?
Yeah.
Who is this, caller?
This is Benjamin Carr, Erica's son.
Hey, what's up, Ben? How you feeling, boy?
What's up, King?
What's up, King? How you
I'm
feeling,
good.
man? You coming from school
I
today?
just came back from luncheon.
From luncheon? From your senior luncheon?
Yeah, with my girlfriend.
With your girlfriend? Hold on. Back up. Slow down, cowboy.
Don't let James on this station. Come on, man.
You don't be acting like James neither. All right, now wait a minute, Ben. Tell me real quick. You are graduating from high school, so you are class of 2022. What high school you go to?
I go to Walter H. Diet on 51st and St. Lawrence.
Hey, you know Walter H. Diet is special to us. We know all of the people that was fighting for that did the hunger strike for that school. Tennille was on the board of directors there, and Beulah, who is in the Lions Den, was the founding principal. Now, tell me about this girlfriend. What's her name? You want to give her a shout out on the air? Hey, go ahead.
Her name is Jayla Pittman. I've been with her since sophomore year. Jayla, Jayla.
Look, let me get it right. He said, get it right. Hey, Jayla, let me just tell you, Ben is the man. I don't even know if you know Jayla, but Ben is straight up the man. He got the plug. So I'm just telling you, you're a lucky girl. You're a lucky girl to be with our guy, Ben, right? He is a king, and I know he treats you like a queen, Ben. Now, I know you know how to do it right because I know your mama taught you well, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. So give a shout-out to whoever you want to give a shout-out to you, and we want to tell you we appreciate you tuning in to us. Who you want to give a shout-out to?
I just want to give a shout-out to my family, my mom, Jayla, my girl, Joshua, my brother.
Hey, Ben, I'm sorry, Ben. What college you going to?
I'm actually going to trade school.
All right. What trade, Ben?
I'm gonna do some either electrical or construction.
So check this out, Ben. And I'm telling you, and your mom is probably tuned in right now. If you are planning on going to trade school, we have a great relationship with the electricians. The head of the electricians is a good friend of mine, and I want to connect you all. So you tell your mom to make sure that we plug on that and get together on that, and we're going to make sure you do well in there. And I got something else I want to talk to you about as well. Hey, man, we proud of you. Thank you for calling us, and congratulations to the class of 2022, man. We take a lot of pride in you, man. All right, talk to you later. Tell your mom we said hi. Shout out to New Era Chicago. Reese, we got any more young people out there? Man, if y'all young people and y'all in the car, man, with your parents, give us a call at 872-259-7474. Did you make the switch with us? What's up, caller?
Hello?
Hello?
It's Jazz. What's up?
What's up, Jasmine? How you feeling, girl?
I'm good. I'm at work. Been here in the bathroom. Come say hey to Uncle May. What's up, Uncle May?
What's up, niece? How you feeling? You sneaking off into the bathroom to make a call? See, now this is how you don't get in trouble. Now where you? Wait, where you
I got promoted yesterday.
Say that again. Huh?
I got promoted yesterday. They'll be all right.
You got promoted? That's what I'm talking about. Look at the Whiftable youth. Look at the BP1 youth doing their thing. Now tell us what you got promoted to.
I got promoted to supervisor of the public outreach fundraising company, and I'm #1 street fundraiser in the country right now. So
What? We gonna have to get you. I was just telling the president. Excuse me. I was just suggesting a little earlier that we need to get you in the building. So Jasmine, let me just say this: we are infinitely proud of you, and we can't wait we're gonna blow you up at the meeting. Also, don't forget to tell people about your event on June 18th. What's going on?
Oh yeah, let's keep in mind that we are having a Black Palooza June 18th, 1 to 6 at P. I want everybody to come out. I want everybody, you know, if you've been, hit us up. If you have any type of small business that you want exposure, hit us up. I actually do have a radio station that I've been working with that wants to go ahead and broadcast at Blackapalooza. I want all of our young Black creators, whether you're dancing, singing, rapping, you do poetry, if you do stand-up, I want you there. I want everybody there. I want to just be in a room, you know, with all Black people and loving each other and caring for each other and supporting our Black youth. Because that's what we need. We need hope for us, you know, because y'all just think that we just, you know, falling straight. But we really want just everybody to come out and, you know, if you really do want to perform, if you have any kids, doesn't matter how old they are, they want to perform, feel free to hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you have, hit me up. I can let you know what we got going on. We already got like 15 or 16 performers, I think. We have a total of 6 vendors coming out already. So it's going to be big, and look, let's make it as big as Lollapalooza. Y'all spend all y'all money with the white people over there. I mean,
okay.
Important.
All right, look, y'all, that's my niece Jasmine. You know, that is Jasmine. Her mama is Felicia Simmons Stovall, right? So you know she come from good stock, and she out there putting it down. Now, y'all know that when we went down to Springfield, it was Jasmine and her young people crew that really kicked it off, and they have really been very active in just helping us get our message to the young people. We got any other callers? That's it. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I wanted to talk to the shorties. If you are the young people and you tune in to the Maze Jackson Show, you know, you call in, you let us know. We got a special time. I think, Riis, we're going to have, just like we do for the seniors, we're going to for the saints, the sinners, and we're going to have to come up with something for the kids.
And if you at work, make sure your boss before you call in is not watching the
right.
Maze Jackson Show.
Right. Shout out to Jasmine for becoming the number. Think about it. Did you hear that, though? She said she is the number one. You know, she does the clipboard. You know all the people that you be walking past on the street when they be like, they got the clipboard. Excuse me, can I talk to you? Man, she good. She good. Number one in the country. That's right here from BP1. Hey, y'all, we do be telling bad stories about our young people sometimes, but it is great to know that it's only a few bad ones. A lot of people want to do well, man. All right, Riis, speaking of our young people, can you switch over real quick? I don't know if you all saw this story last week. Riis, I think I done dropped the cord. But let me tell you, I don't know if y'all saw the story last week, but there was an uprising or an explosion, not an explosion, but there was definitely a little hullabaloo in Evanston last week. At a middle school, and it really inspired. Now you can't ask the question, can you? You can't hit the button. Can you hit the button? Because we switched over. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Riis, we only got a few minutes to answer this question, but I definitely want to ask the social media question. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you get it set up, and then let me know when you're ready. I want the big voice. I'm ready for the big voice. Go ahead, hit it.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Who stands up for Black children in the race space? Riis, one of the things that I am hyper conscious about, when I grew up, I feel like my parents got me to the suburbs and they thought that they were doing me a tremendous favor, but I think that I went through a lot of things that I never had the opportunity to tell my parents. Particularly surrounding the issue of race. Remember I told you I grew up, I was usually the only Black kid in my class all the way till I got to high school. So from about 5th grade to high school, usually the only Black kid or one of two. And oftentimes, I would be subjected to racial taunting that you really had to just absorb. And I don't think that I ever really told my parents, right? I just kind of dealt with it. And I think it's one of those things that we never really very much talk about. But then, I don't know, I thought it was particularly ironic. I want to play a clip from ABC 7. I want to give credit to Channel 7, ABC 7 News. Riis, bring me up in my headphones. Not in my headphones. I just like saying that. Like, bring me up in my headphones. I'm going to play this news story that was on Channel 7 last week. Coincidentally, this story came out last Friday, and I thought it was interesting, to say the least. You ready? Let's go.
Police up here. The kids is running wild. The kids is running out the building. She like, can you please come get me? I'm scared.
Police say they responded to the school to bring calm when later they were called back by school staff. Not to calm crowds, but parents say for something much worse. In the midst of the protest, 3 nooses were found hanging on this tree near campus. Parents believing it's sending a clear and hateful message to the administration at the school.
To my knowledge, those 3 nooses represent our 3 administrations. So we have a black principal. We have a black assistant principal who's a male, and then a black assistant principal that's a woman.
District 65 Superintendent Dr. Devin Horton sending a letter to parents saying in part, quote, this is a hate crime and a deliberate and specific incident of an outwardly racist act. It resounds with a tone of hate and hurt that will impact members of our entire community.
That's the terrifying part, right? These children are in middle school and they're not seeing consequences for actions.
With all the screaming, banging, yelling, and then this, it definitely took away from the peaceful protest aspect of it all.
In Evanston, I'm Trey Ward, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
So Riis, that was in Evanston, in Skokie. I won't even really talk about that part of it. Riis, who stands up for black children in the space of race? So, at the school, let me see the name of the school. 3 nooses were found at Haven Middle School as part of the Evanston-Skokie School District. 3 nooses. Riis, have we heard anything about this? Anybody talking about it at all? So now let me ask a question. Who speaks up for the black kids that have to go to the school where the 3 nooses were hung? Let me repeat this. In the Evanston-Skokie School District, last Friday, listen to me, last Friday, 3 nooses were found hung after the students participated in a peaceful protest. Are we clear about what nooses mean? And if you heard the parent, they said that the 3 nooses were for representative of the principal, who was black, the male black assistant principal, and the female black assistant principal. So, first we have the faculty, but Riis, who speaks up for the black kids at the school? Does anybody say anything? Any press release? Let me say this again. At the Evanston-Skokie School District last Friday, 3 nooses were found at a school where black students attend. The 3 nooses in a middle school. What does a black middle school student, what is his defense? What is his protection in that school? Should that child have to go back to that school knowing that 3 nooses were hung and nobody's talking about it? Who speaks up? Riis, I've been there. Ever been into a bathroom stall and it say ninjas go home? Swastikas, all type of stuff. Right? When I was young, that was every day. Who speaks up for black children in that space? And what should the parents do? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Your children go to school where there are 3 nooses. Now, let me just say, didn't we just have this issue at Whitney Young? We just had this issue at Whitney Young. Any outrage? Who is speaking on behalf of black children in these instances? What are the parents to do? Do you tell your child just to get over it? Do you say just ignore it? How do you tell them to ignore it, knowing what we just saw that happened in Buffalo? Right? Like, who finds out what happened? Riis, you can't, we don't have the ability to ignore or downplay moments like that. Just know that that happened on Friday, and then Saturday, we saw the mass black killing in Buffalo. Are threats to the black children's safety serious, taken seriously? It is not lost on me that that happened in Evanston and Skokie either. Any statements? It's the Mays Jackson Show. Look, y'all, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to, I want to take your calls. I want you to give me a call. What do you do as a black parent? Your child goes to a school where 3 nooses are found, representative of the administration. So if the administration ain't safe, how safe is your child? Or is that something we should not? Right? Like, Riis, you send your kid to school. What happens? What protections are in place for those black children in that school until they identify who hung the nooses? Or is it ever a threat when it's us? Nooses in the schools. What do you do as a parent? You sending your kid back to school? Yeah, you are, because you're going to tell them, you're going to do like my parents did. Just ignore it. Them people ain't going to hurt you. Who is sticking up for the children in that space? Are they having interventions? Are they having anti-blackness classes? Like, are they doing things to build the esteem or to break down what would drive somebody to hang a noose? Because there's only one way I can interpret a noose. Or am I missing something? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Look, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation. Plus, Riis, they dropped the poll on the 1st Congressional District and for Congress. I want to talk about who's going to win and what they need to do to win. All of that and more when we come back. It is the Mays Jackson Show.
The Mays Jackson Show will be back after this break.
It's official, West Suburbs and Chicagoland area. The Naperville Soul Fest is back, featuring a live performance by Avery Sunshine and Carl Thomas on Friday, June 3rd, and Kindred the Family Soul, Selena Johnson, and Riis. On stage Saturday, June 4th at Napier Settlement, located at 523 South Weber Street in downtown Naperville. If you missed the last Naperville Soul Fest, you don't want to miss this one. Get your discounted tickets on Eventbrite or visit napervillesoulfest.com for more event details. For vendor opportunities with access to over 7,000 attendees, text 630-202-6431. That's 630-202-6431. Spend your first weekend in June at the Naperville Soul Fest with Avery Sunshine Friday, June 3rd and Kindred the Family Soul on Saturday, June 4th. Check out napervillesoulfest.com for more information.
I love being black. Do you love being black? Yeah, I love being black. Hey, I do this for my people all across the globe. Hey, it's break. The skin I'm in fit me fine, tailor-made, yeah, I'm comfortable. So it seems I'm still chasing my dreams. They told me, watch my steps, they want to pull the rug from under you. This is transparency, my life 3D. You live every word that I utter, reporting live from the gutter. Where the mind's hard to change, but we don't give up on our brothers and sisters. Cause we all need one another. The time's getting closer, revolution, feel it coming. I can smell it in the air. Inhale it, let it embody you. Because chances are the cops will you over, they body you. Plus we don't trust each other, so it's just another obstacle. Why jump hurdles to make a change? It ain't optional. Olympian mindset in this booth with my binoculars. I see my vision getting clear. Justice what a prophet do. My music touch the people's soul. Black power gospel tunes. So many styles, watch me kick them like they soccer moves. Falling rank and file, this is my platoon. Soldiers at attention, ain't no Willie lynching. This the program. Who they think they kidding? Reinvent the system. Total reconstruction of our mental stigma. This ain't a game, boy. Still they think I'm talking about Nintendo's. That's a shame, boy. Augment reality. Better fix your brain, boy. I love my people, hope they love me black. I'm going hard and ain't no holding back. Watch me react, I put my fist up in the skies like a beacon for believers that one day we return to our greatest city. We seek it all the glory we can obtain it, keep reaching. I'm painting this picture, I hope you see it. Guess what the theme is? I love being black. We turning up, I love being black. Say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black. Hey, well, how about you? Done seen these tunes too? Customize for you a little something you can grow to. Feeling good about yourself, melanated mood muse. Always service humble pie. We don't care about who's who. Light brown or dark skin, this right here's for you too. We are the gods of the earth, living proof truth. Say it loud if you black and proud. I salute you and that's a fact. Where you at? Let me hear you say it back. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey. Super melanation, renovation of our databases. Gotta fix the trinity to make it past the matrix. There's a rabbit in the hole. Your decision, you gon' chase it or just shove it for complacency. Here's your motivation. Black power in your veins. Up to us to build a nation. European mental detox completely we erase it. You can't keep writing over old information. Try to bring it right back. If you love being black, I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey. I do this for my people all across the map. Easy for the ones who don't identify with being black. Hebrews the best elixir. Go ahead and try your best. It's truth serum, my loose spirits. The ancestors speak to me. I spit the truth. Hear it. You broken souls here to re-engineer them so that they fear us. This precious atmospheric as the hell is spinning. Trying to strategize a way so we can start winning. It begins with pride of yourself. Embracing this feeling. Say no new friends. That's what happened to the village. Too much individualism. It's easier to pillage. I'm just making this appearance for coherence. So you can understand what we up against. Hit the reset button, switch covenants. It's the contract to the people that I'm publishing. It's a new era, hood to hood, feel the power and I'm loving it. Turn up, neck turn up, strapped with the black burner. Murder, you sleeping and I shoot up your server. Corrupted service at the 5, man, it's time to purge them. We waking up and that's what got them nervous. I love being black, we turning up. I love being black, say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black, hey.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed, it's all wrong.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Good afternoon, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show, coming to you live every day, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right? You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Hey, man. I'm telling you, we doing our thing, man. Riis is starting to come together. I'm getting a little used to it. I'm not trying not to scream into the microphone. I'm trying to be calm. But I can't even whisper.
Did you check it out when you get home?
Just checking, and I did, and I was like,
Hot tub.
it's like so crispy that you can hear it even when I'm whispering, and I'm not even trying to talk. And this is the quietest. And it works. So I don't have to yell, so I'm just trying to get up. You know, the microphone makes me want to yell, so I'm trying to get on into a conversational mode. And as I start to get more guests, it'll be a much better thing. Now don't forget we got Brother Anthony, Sister Karima, and then we've got a couple other guests coming in a little bit later that'll be coming in via satellite. I like saying that, via satellite. We're going to talk about the Black Cityhood movement. There is a white cityhood movement, but we're going to talk about the black one that's going on. Riis, I do feel like this. I want black children to know that you do not have to accept the racial taunting. Like, somebody will speak up for you. Don't, like, as a person who was very not wanting to tell my parents, just know you're not by yourself, and sometimes people put you in trouble when you ain't really did nothing in trouble. So tell your parents. Don't do like I did, because I used to just not tell my parents because I thought I would be in trouble, but it was really I was getting, and I knew I felt like I was being treated bogus. But so to the kids out there that are tuned in, let your parents know. All right, Riis. The 1st Congressional District. It is the seat that was occupied by Bobby Rush for the last 24 years. Riis, he retired, or he announced that he would not be running again, and he anointed his successor, Karen Norrington Reeves. Okay? So Riis, when he announced his retirement, 17 people got in the race. 17. Riis, what's 100 divided by 17? Let me get my computer. 100 divided by 17, all clear, 100 divided by 17 equals, so Riis, somebody with 6% of the total vote, if it was us, could potentially win the race. So I think that people saw it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and everybody decided that they were going to get into it. And Riis is really, it's like a good thing and a bad thing. You know why it's a good thing? It's a good thing because I think people are practicing democracy. But it's a bad thing because with 17 people in the race, you don't know what nobody is talking about. You ever been to a forum with 17 people in it? I went to a forum and they cut it in half. Riis. They could only get through 2 questions in an hour and a half. So I don't know that we know all of the people running. So apparently, one of the things that people do that we don't typically do a lot is poll. But a poll was released courtesy of Jackie Collins. Now, in case you don't know, Jackie Collins is currently the senator from the Southwest side she comes from Father Pfleger's area, right? So she was a part of the 17th Ward organization, but always, and then when they broke up, she remained with Father Pfleger. So Riis, she released a poll, and her poll says that Jonathan Jackson is in the lead with 19%. Her and Pat Dow both have 14%. And then the next closest is Jonathan Swain with 5%. 3%. Everybody else, less than 3%. So Riis, and that kind of sounds about right to me, right? Like you've got 3 relatively well-known candidates and 1 decently financed candidate. I think the rest of the people that are running, in a lot of cases, have their small niches of friends, but I don't know if they have broad-based appeal. Does that make sense? Like, you know of Jonathan Jackson, right? Because he's one of the Jacksons. You know of Pat Dow. Why? Because she's the alderman. You know of Senator Jackie Collins. Why? Because she has been in office for all of these years. But Riis, I wonder, will the women in the race cannibalize each other? You know what I mean? Like with 2 women in the race, because I think this is the year of the woman, sort of. With everything that's going on with Roe versus Wade, I think women turnout is going to be probably massive. But with 2 women in the race and 1 front runner in Jonathan Jackson, do you think the women will cannibalize each other? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I really want to know what your thoughts are. If you have somebody that you're supporting in the 1st Congressional District, they say that Jonathan Jackson is in the lead. Pat Dow and Senator Collins, Jackie Collins, are in a virtual tie. And Senator Jackie Collins and Pat Dow are in a virtual tie with Jonathan Jackson bringing it up. They're saying that Karen Norrington Reeves is polling that the appointed successor by Bobby Rush is only at 3%. Riis, how do you think someone emerges to win? First of all, I want to know who you think is going to win the race. If you were a betting man today, who would you say is going to win the race? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Do you have a pick? Who do you think is going to win in the 1st Congressional District? Do you think it's Jonathan Jackson? Because he is a Jackson. Do you think it is Alderman Pat Dow? She has probably the most money and wider, and she's got the support of some pretty big unions. Then you've got Senator Jackie Collins. You know, Senator Collins is rolling with the king of the black people. She comes from Father Pfleger. But I wonder, do 2 women in the forefront split up the women vote? Or will women even consider, would women vote for Riis? Do the sisters get along? Do you think more black women will vote for Jonathan Jackson? Let's back up. First of all, if you didn't know any of the candidates, who you voting for, Riis?
Jonathan Jackson, probably off top.
Why Jonathan Jackson?
I guess, growing up and hearing like the legacy of the Jacksons, son of Jesse Jackson, just hearing that legacy, you kind of really latch on to that, I guess. It's kind of like how it was the dailies, once the daily left, you were so used to like a daily.
Well, okay.
So, yeah.
So you say Jonathan Jackson.
Right. Probably a betting man. If I probably would choose him. Probably got the most people probably backing him. His father put in the work. They probably would respect him because of his father work. Like some people respect you because of what your father put in and because of your last name. So I definitely think that if I was a betting man, if you was to just to hear these, if people was just to hear these people and hear their backgrounds, a lot of people would link, Jesse Jackson, civil rights leader, to all that and be like, yeah, man, I go with him.
Okay. So you think his name recognition. So I think that what has to happen. So I want to talk about this because I want to talk about what it takes for all three of them to be able to win. Riis says that he off top, Jonathan Jackson. What could make you come off of that?
Knowledge of other candidates, of course.
So do they have to tell you something better about them or something bad about him?
Something that they're actually going to do. I'm not really interested in. I'm not like the type of person that's interested in you trying to bash another person to get. I'd rather you show me what can you do differently than the other person.
People say that, but negative ads work.
I mean, negative ads, it does, but I mean, I'm sure it does to most people. But I want to hear what because you can tell me all the negative that he done and spend your whole campaign telling me every negative thing he does and never say anything about what you're going to do. Now, when you get in office, I can't really hold you accountable for anything because
what you holding anybody accountable for, elected wise, anyway? Stop it, y'all. Now y'all want to be accountability kings. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Now Riis want to be talking about some accountability.
My lion's at, man.
Look, y'all ain't held nobody accountable. Now we gonna have this conversation. You want to hold somebody damn accountable. Now everybody, let me see your resume. Y'all ain't seen no Bobby Rush resume in 35 years.
Yeah, but Bobby Rush put in the work, So and
Bobby Rush was a Panther.
Exactly, you feel me? So
that count?
Yeah, for sure. That's a big man. He put his life on the line for he did. So that for sure count, and that's probably what gave him the edge up. Like he probably didn't even need to do that much campaigning, but because of what he did already, it was enough for him to be elected to make a difference and a change.
Bobby Rush. Okay, so ladies. Are y'all voting for, would the ladies vote for a man or are ladies voting for ladies this election? Like with everything going on, like does being a woman make a difference to women voters?
I think it does. Like when I speak to a lot of women like around my age, they definitely vote for like the woman if she's competent enough. That's why a lot of women voted for Joe Biden, of course. That was the thing, black woman. So yeah, I definitely believe that that our women stick together.
Now, what if they're not? So let me ask a question: for black women, do black women vote black first or women first? Black women, call me, please. Don't get me in trouble, because I'll be out here talking, and y'all be like, you don't speak for us. Riis, what about for men?
So you asking if there was a black man and a black woman, who would they choose, or what?
Black man, white woman. Black man, white woman. Who does the black woman vote for? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Because I want to know, does the woman issue, is it going to resonate in the black community? With black women? All right, so black woman, white man.
Easy, they definitely going black woman.
Okay. White woman, black woman, white man. I'm going black woman. I'm going black woman. I think that, yeah, I'm going black women on that one. What about what is the most important determining factor for a black person's vote? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. What is the thing that makes the most difference to how a black person decides who they're going to vote for? Like, what do you care about? What do we care about? Because I was just thinking, like, what are the issues that these congressional candidates are running on? Riis, with 17 candidates, I don't know that you can really know what anybody's platform is. Not in a forum. So how do we get to know who we should be picking in this race? I think that Jonathan Jackson. So here's how I handicap the race, Riis. And I'm gonna tell you that I think that the sneaker in this is Pat Dow. But here's what I'm gonna say. So what I see for Pat Dow's attributes, she's got SEIU, Riis. They got troops. They got money, and they will spend it. She's got the lead on fundraising, right? And we haven't crossed. Plus, she'll probably run mail, do a full media campaign, and have the support, like I said, of labor. Uh-oh. Then I've got Jonathan Jackson. Jonathan Jackson's got the name recognition, the star power, and the presumption that he should go to that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you said his dad passed on, plus his legacy? Jackie Collins, I think she's got her record of service in the Senate and a relationship with the Senate president and a plethora of lobbyists. But the challenge is most of the people that would give her money don't necessarily benefit from her being in Congress. And because she is running, she's not going back to Springfield, I wonder how much do people invest? Riis, it is my anticipation that Pat Dow, and I wonder, I got to look at at Jonathan Jackson's money. But I think that the winning formula here is going to be who can put together a full campaign for the last month. And I do think that the person with the most institutional ability to do that right now is Pat Dow. I think if this poll is correct and Jonathan Jackson's at 19, I think, and there's 31% undecided, it's going to be interesting, Riis. It's going to be name recognition, but it's also going to be TV, radio, print, etc. Do you think we can raise the money? Do you think Jonathan Jackson will have the ability to raise the money to hold on? Will he be on TV? Where does his money come from? Do you think national celebrities will invest? I think it'll be interesting to see if he can hold on to that all of that time. All right, you got a caller? Let's go to the live line. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. Who wins the 1st Congressional District? Who you looking at?
Bro, hey man, I'm looking at whoever is selected on the What's in it for the Black People voters guide, man. So that's what I'm on, bro. What's going on with it though?
What up, Devo? How you feeling, dog? Hey man,
Hey,
I know
man,
you gonna come
hey.
wait, you gonna have a come have? I know we ain't gonna promote it, but you gonna come have a drink with us? You need to get that crew and come have a drink
Of
with us.
course. I'm getting me and the wife getting ready to go. I'm about to bust a move right now. Of course.
All right, man. Hit him with the
Of
BP
course.
one at the Doski, man. All right, go, bro. What's
Hey, Riis, you need to ask Uncle Maze, man. Can you get a new PlayStation, bro? That Atari 2600 you got ain't the lick no more, bro.
Man, I be going to the arcade room and
You look
playing, bro. That's where I be going. I just asked him, yo. Yeah, I just realized that they made flat screen TV, bro. That's how old my game is.
Hey, it's hard out here for a pimp, man.
Yeah, but no.
Hey, gotta get that back in. Hey, but for real though, bro. Hey, I really enjoy Mr. Jackson, and I think that his ability to articulate certain economic things that we need in the black community, as well as, his ability for us to have access to him. I think he just makes me, comfortable. But, we really don't know too much about Pat Dow. She really, never really made herself available to us. And some of the other, Jonathan Swain, I think, is a person that's intriguing. You know what I'm saying? He's similar in age to some of us, and I think he would come with some innovative ideas. I'm pretty much open. Hey, why we never talk about the out west race? Because there's a candidate forum with the congressional district that's out west. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of, is that a thing where, the west side don't really get talked about, or what, how do we approach something like that, bro?
So, you know what, Devin, that's an interesting thing. I don't know that race has ever, how can I put it? I'm happy to talk to either candidate in the race. None of them have, I'm not exactly sure if there would be a change in this go-round. I'm happy to talk to whoever, and if anybody, now that you mention that though, brother, I will make sure that I start to cover that race, and I will put it in my notes to do better. It's not really what anybody else wants to do. We got to keep our people informed, and shoot, we got to get our West Side chapter together. So I will get some coverage on that race going forward. I apologize about that.
Hey, well, no, come on, man. No, we all here this is why. Hey, man, I just want to say, hey, bro, I can definitely sense a change in your demeanor, moving the time slot. Your perspective is a lot more open. The show is breathing. It's just a lot more room to discuss certain things that wouldn't necessarily bubbled up to the from the morning show. So, hey man, it's rocking, bro. You keeping it light, and we still hitting the point, and we having a good time with it. So, shout out to the den, and shout out to everybody, and just keep up doing the good work, bro. And I'll see you in a little while.
All right, I'll see you in a minute. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for giving us a call, 872-259-7474. I know you want to give us a call. I know you want to talk about this, but I want to know, do they have any supporters out there? Like, who would win if we held the election? If the election was held in the den today, who would you be voting for Congress? Do you even know the candidates? You might not get to know them all. So I want to know, if you were voting today, who would you be voting for the Congress? I'm going to try and tally that up. Maybe I'll even make it a poll. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Riis, I want to talk about this Nick Saban thing. It's kind of bothering me a little bit. But it's also 4:34, so some of y'all only got 26 minutes. Riis be talking about some of y'all got 56 minutes. If you got to work till 5:30 because you had a half-hour lunch break, man, you should just take your lunch at 5 o'clock. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTVPM.
What's up, Chicago? This is your man, Maze Jackson, host of The Maze Jackson Show, and I don't know if you've heard the news, but we're moving to the afternoons.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
That's right. After 5 years of doing the mornings, we're moving to 3 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So don't worry. We're still going to ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said. It's the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Don't miss it.
Yeah. Ruthie Mo. Riis the ruler. Maze Jackson. This is the reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding. So go on, make my payments. Ha 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 ha. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them ha 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 ha. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it ha 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 ha. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them ha 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 ha. Look, and check it out. First drug lord was President Nixon. Oval Office was the trap house where he was tipping. Got the drugs from Nicaragua and gave us crack. Declared war on blacks. Man, tell him to cut the check and tried to make it seem like a revolution. CIA was the corner boys for distribution. We could tear this country in half for retribution. But I'd rather get some restitution, so tell him to cut the check. John Singleton, man, he already told y'all. He broke it down for you when he made Snowfall. They locked us all up and created whole laws. So send a message like a cold call. Tell them to cut the check. Look, we built this city. We built this city. Back, put this country together and gave him hella aid. Lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Over 400 years. Been punching the clock, but yeah, we still ain't got paid. Look, they paying the immigrants. They paid the Jews. Executive orders, man, they made the rules. I want my 40 acres, you can save the mule. Cause as of right now, we getting played for the fool. Look, for sterilization, Tuskegee experiment, Rosewood, Japanese internment. Come on, was all paid out from the government. We waiting on our turn, we definitely earned it. So make my payment, ha 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 ha. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them ha 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 ha. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it ha 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 ha. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them ha 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 ha. Not no stimulus checks, just run the bread, make it ha.
Y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Maybe it was up, I couldn't hear over it. So I got you though. Riis, I do feel like, give us a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-74. If you are rocking with us in the afternoons, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, Riis, I want to talk a little bit about white privilege with black people. Did you see the story about Nick Saban? What is he, 5-time NCAA the world football champion or whatever it is? What do you call it? The college football national champion 5 times? Of infamous Roll Tide fame. Nick Saban lashed out today or yesterday at primetime Deion Sanders. Now, in case you don't know, primetime Deion Sanders is the $300,000 a year head football coach at Jackson State. And he has been making a splash by bringing some celebrity to HBCUs, right? And Riis, Nick Saban is used to having his pick of the litter. I'll use it that way. I was going to use the N word, but I decided much better. I've learned from my ways. But Nick Saban is used to having his pick of the litter. And when he did not get one of his picks of the litter, he lashed out at Coach Primetime and suggested that the only reason that the player went to Jackson State was because because Jackson State paid him $1 million. Now, how many black people here have ever been to a HBCU? Anybody? Anybody? You ever been to a small HBCU that ain't Morehouse or Spelman or Howard or Hampton? They ain't got $1 million just to be kicking around for no football player. Let's start there. Let's also suggest that there is a consciousness that is growing among black people, and what we all hope Deion Sanders is kicking off is happening. i.e., star recruit football players are recognizing that they can go to HBCUs, and if they go to HBCUs and perform, the cameras will follow them. It is an opportunity for the next generation to not be treated as educational chattel. The NIL, which is the name, image, and likeness, combined with the transfer portal, have created a new level of freedom for black athletes that does not tie their future to the whims and wills of people who do not have their best interests at hand, who shuffle them through for their benefit. Riis, I gotta tell you, I took a tremendous amount of offense that Nick Saban, with all of his rings, with his whole stable of litters, even after doing the Aflac commercial, Aflac, where they was palling around as buddies. Think about that. Now, I'm not saying that the commercial meant that they were super tight homies. But imagine you doing that commercial and he's looking at you like you still OJ.
You know that's my pet peeve, phony kicking it.
Riis. Oh, so we all up in the commercial. We all up here playing Blue Jacket. And the moment that you don't get your way, you revert to, I'm OJ now. Because there's no way possible that you, OJ, have anything that a young black male could possibly want besides me saving them. Riis, I gotta tell you, I felt the kind of way when I saw the Nick Saban quote. And I really wonder why any parent watching that is sending their kid to Alabama. And then here go the crazy part, Riis. Not only is he trying to besmirch him, but he's trying to get him investigated. Well, if that litter doesn't come to me, well, of course, and I'm gonna burn everybody. Like if you an athlete and you see him do that and say they paid you so you trying to ruin his career too? Riis, what is it that makes... I see this very often where we are expected to not have... We are expected to ignore our blackness when making decisions. Although we can watch everybody else make decisions around us and they take into account, but the obvious, we can't call the obvious. It's not that we're all slower. It's not that we all don't. Help me understand, Riis. How does Nick Saban do that to Deion Sanders primetime? And how does he feel like he has the authority to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know when you be like, okay, hold on, dog. You done went just a little bit too far. Is Nick Saban too comfortable because he is the leader of the litter and he has the best performing litter of all time? See, this is why I'm saying, is this an example of we be down so bad? So ain't nobody supposed to say nothing about that? So should no Alabama player say nothing about that? Because what they got to do? Be quiet? Because this is their big chance. So I don't know, Riis. Help me understand. How should black people respond to what Nick Saban did? I mean, do you think it will stop any black parents from sending their kids to Alabama? They will ignore all of that and just be like, it's the ring. It's my chance to go to the league. When is there an advantage to being black? I've asked this question before. When do black people have an advantage with black people? When? In what circumstances do black people have an advantage with any people? Tell me that. It is expected Jackson State is the school where didn't Walter Payton come from Jackson State? Greatest running back of all time. Help me understand. If somebody's at the door? Brother Anthony and them probably at the door. Did you let them in already? Go check that. Go see if they inside. Yo, I just want to understand. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. How should black people respond to Nick Saban's assertions that there was no reason for black folks to be at the game? I mean, no reason that a black person would not go to Alabama over Jackson State. Is there not any advantage to being black with black people? If it is, when is it though? Because I don't know when it is really an advantage. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. When is there an advantage to black people? Like, I always feel like there should be an outward advantage because we get played all so many times, Riis, that I feel like there should be a point when black people should have an advantage with black people. But I don't know if that really exists. Not universally. Like, how many times have you been in a situation where you be like, man, you sitting in the room, it's two of y'all, and you know that if one of the brothers and sisters got to make a decision, they going to decide the other way. But then I also have to ask, what happens when the brothers and sisters have been played and are at a disadvantage? Look, we're going to talk about it a little bit more when we come back, though. I want to take a quick break because I want to get a little set. I know we went over, we went quarter. So I'm going to take a break right now, and then we're going to finish this hour. And then when we come back, we're going to start talking about Black Cityhood. Wait a minute, not Black Cityhood, Black Cityhood. Not Black City and Hood, Black Cityhood. Now, usually when you hear Cityhood, you think of white people seceding from black-run areas. But today, we're going to talk about that in reverse. Brother Anthony, Sister Karima in the building. Plus, they done brought some video guests with them as well. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Up in the morning with the frown on my face, cause I know it's another day that I gotta face now. For people I don't wanna see, working at a job that I don't wanna be, breaking my back to the bone with nothing to show. But I got dreams and goals, but as soon as I clock in, I'm ready to go. So there's one thing I gotta know: why money ain't free? Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? Give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money? Why can't you just give it? Why can't you just give it? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Rocking in that 9 to 5, got your girl hella tired. Why won't they let me be? Now I understand why my mama always used to ask, did I think money grew on trees? I got these bills after bills and they just keep coming. Working overtime, but my pockets ain't flooding. Yeah, my funds low. Adult life is gay.
Why money ain't free?
Why it ain't free?
Why can't you just give it?
Why can't they just give it to me?
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me.
Why money ain't free? Yeah.
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
How the money ain't free. Every 5 minutes kids bothering me. They seem to think that money grows on trees. Always asking for allowance and clean one thing. I'm sick and tired of my funds being low. Spent the whole bag on the groceries at the store. Got a little something, but I need a little more. And I'm a single mama, you should already know.
Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it?
Won't you give it to me?
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why money ain't free?
Why money ain't free? Yeah. Why money ain't free?
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess.
And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, babe? Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there?
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler. And Riis, I'm just about tired of people just assuming, who is Ryan's iPhone? Is that you? Dang, now that ain't, and you ain't iPhone, and you ain't, Riis, I think we gonna miss it. Then to say Maze's iPad, we gonna have to roll on up out of here. Look, y'all, I think that there is so much presumption from white folks when it comes to how they deal with black people. I think that they're almost surprised when we happy with ourselves. Like, you ever feel like they be like, what y'all doing over there? Like, sometimes, have you ever just wanted to be around black people? Is that wrong?
And that's what, like I said, check your email. I sent it to your email. And that's what I was, like, watching, and I was in here earlier. Because I actually, and this, like I said, this is crazy because you look at one of the greatest collegiate coaches ever. One, I think the only person that has more national championship is the Bear. So when you look at that, you will go down as your legacy as being one of the best coaches to ever coach the game. And to have the number 2 recruiting class, it ain't like you jump from 1, like you had 1 almost every year you've been there, to go from 1 to 2, not 1 to 5, 1 to 15, and to accuse other people. The little divisional one was cool, but to just say people, especially, it's like you watching that interview, and then you see your homeboy that we just did a commercial together, we just cut it up. You like, dang, you about me? And then it's like, okay, these players, they don't go to HB, schools because of the funding and everything. Now because they have even the playing field and players can get compensated, and now you upset because people don't want to just come to your school because it's a quick way to NFL. They can get played and still get recognized. Deion Sanders came to that school when there was nothing, started building these players up through their social media, building their brand up, putting their name out there. He did the hard work, didn't ask for a dime more, you know what I'm saying? So he did all this, and then it's just crazy to see somebody that you hanging out with, and then all of a sudden they turning on you,
And you be like, this how you really felt.
Right.
Like, this is, I be worried about, like, how many times. This is how we get shot, though. This is how we get killed. Because we start with an altruistic nature. Black folks be like, if I could be your friend, I'm going to be your friend. It's nothing, there's no ill to it, there's no evil to it. It's like, black folks will welcome you. Like, you imagine you pull up on black people anywhere. You look like you white and you lost, somebody gonna try and help you. You black, and you look like you lost, they're going to Ahmaud Arbery you. And it is amazing to me. Riis, I had an incident like that recently. I promise you. I had an incident like that recently where I'm like, man, dog, I'm your boy. Like, I thought we was. And it's like, oh, that's how you really feel? And it's like, I tell you, one of the reasons that I have limited the depth and breadth of my friendships outside of the black community is because I know that at some point they're gonna have to make a choice if you get too close, and they're always gonna choose the other side when it's the real choice. Not when it's the cool choice, but when it's the real choice. When nobody's watching, when it ain't no, and when it's just your pure feelings.
I just think as a college coach and understand the system of how really it works, he understands that he gets all these recruits and he understands how they help the community as well as the college and everything. So if Deion Sanders did get the number one recruit or the number one top cornerback over there, just think about what that person can bring back to that university. And then you accuse the man of having $1 million. Where did Jackson State get $1 million to give one player? Like really, like where in their budget do you think they have? And then when you look at it, boosters. Who you think has the most boosters? Which alumni you think can put? Alabama State has accumulated almost $2 billion money in players that went from their school to the NFL. So it's no other school that can really compare to them. It's $2 billion. I think like the next one is just barely scratching like $1 billion maybe. So they got so many other recruits. Ohio State, all these other big name schools can now, pay these players now. So it's like, who do you really think this is benefiting? Now I got a number one recruit. Now they saying, okay, well if he come in, we can get more recruits there. Now this black school is now, there's a black college is now getting more people to help invest in the college, and now we seeing change and difference. So I just think as a college coach, he should have been like, that's pretty cool to see that another player chose a different route to chose. Even he could have went to Alabama and had probably an easier way to get it. Well, maybe he didn't want to take the easier route. Maybe he wanted to take this route.
Don't be a sore loser, Jack.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's like, and it came off as racist to me.
It did. It
just came off as straight racist
and hate. Like it's a player that player has his own. That player has his own choice to choose.
How many times have we seen the video of the mom got the hat, she ready, and the son be like, I'm going over here.
Going here. It's not where I want to be at. And I want to be at. Now I go for you, and then let's just say I play because it's a couple of recruits that play for Nick Saban, 5-star, number one recruits that never get a game. So you mean to tell me if I have a love for the game and if I'm going to Alabama and I'm a 5-star recruit, they have nothing but 5-star recruits. So I'm not going to go in there and start. I'm going to go in there and probably red shirt, sit out another year, and then now my third year, now I'm finally getting into the game, getting into some action. I'm the number one corner, and I want to play right now. So I'm going to go over there to Jackson State, do what I have to do, make a name for myself right then and right there. It may not have been for the money, and if it was for the money.
So what? That's why they went to Alabama.
You went $20 million a year probably as a coach. Why are you upset?
Hey, man. That's white folks taking privilege with black folks' bodies. Look, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. I'm excited. Look, we got the guests. They already here. I see we got Mayor Jason Leary. We got Dr. Catherine Rice. They both in. We're gonna bring them in via satellite. We got Brother Anthony and Sister Karima outside. So look, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, y'all, we're gonna get into this whole concept of cityhood. But black cityhood, that's what I'm talking about. We'll talk about it more when we come back. It is the Mace Jackson Show.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
WIIFTBP, media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP, media's just for you
administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. We was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breached security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater. But she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history. All because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed. To certain rights we are not granted. The media's the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narrative. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wilding with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. It's What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. So many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends DNA is spilled on. Jackets out here lurking, trying to get they steel on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers niggas out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, world! Did I say wake up? Good afternoon, y'all. This is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. It is Thursday at 5:10, which means, depending on what your salary status is, if you're taking a half-hour lunch break and you're on the hourly, as Riis talking about, you got about 19 minutes before you get out of here. Is that 19? 19 minutes before you got to get out. Now, if you got off at 5, that means you run into the car, right? You're probably trying to beat the meter, trying to get across traffic and get in the building. Y'all see everybody out there? Look, the traffic is light. You see it. Hey, Brother Anthony, you say what's up to everybody out there in the city. You know what I'm saying? So look, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show, and live, we got Atlanta in the building. Now, I don't know how in the world first of all, let me catch y'all know we got the trolls, got the cracking. They wake up in the third hour of the show all the time, so I'm going to go ahead. I don't want you all, we got guests, so I don't want them to be looking at the sexy chat coming from the Autobots that are out there. But I am excited today for this conversation that we are about to have. First, as y'all can see next to me, members of our family, our extended family, Black People First, the unofficial with the Black People First chapter members from Atlanta. I got my brother Anthony Muhammad. Now, y'all know I call him Brother Anthony now, but I knew him when he was Tony Rome back in the day, right? And his wonderful and beautiful sister that he has married, who continues to inspire and impress me, and I'm still feeling your words from last time. Sister Karima is here as well. Now, you know how to do. Y'all know how we do in the den, right? The den be like, we need to talk about this. We this year I think that we have decided that we are going to be about solutions. And so as we've talked about these solutions, Brother Anthony hit me up. He said, "Hey, Brother Mays, I'm gonna be back in town in about 2 weeks, and I got 2 people that I would love to get you involved in a conversation with." And I was like, "Nah, Brother Anthony, you know all you got to do is say the word, and we're gonna have a conversation. But who are these people, and why do I want to talk to them?" And he said to me, he said, "Brother, you ask about what's in it for the Black people. You ask the question every day. Well, I believe that they have an answer." And so I said, well, if they got an answer, he said, "Have you heard about the Cityhood movement?" I said, "I think I have. But ain't that how white folks try to, when the Black folks get the power, then the white folks say, we tapping out, we want to take our money and run? Ain't that what Cityhood is?" He said, "Well, no, I got somebody that I think you need to talk to." And so today joining us is Dr. Catherine Riis. She owns Building Quality Communities. And we have Mayor, Dak Nabbit, I done lost it on my paper, and Mayor Larry, Mayor Jason Larry, founding father of the Stonecrest Cityhood movement. So what I want to do, first of all, is I want to welcome both of y'all back, and then I am going to ask you to kind of set up the conversation. Absolutely. And then I'm going to ask, we're going to start with Dr. Catherine. She probably like, dang, he been talking all day long. Y'all got me out here. We're going to start with Dr. Catherine, and then we're going to talk to Mayor Larry. Yes. And then we're going to foster this conversation about cityhood. So, Brother Anthony, Sister Karima, welcome back.
Thank you. Pleasure to be back. Thanks for having us.
And Brother Anthony, why don't you introduce your guest to the family?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you, Brother Mays. This is really like a dream come true, whether you know it or not. I don't even know if Dr. Rice may remember this, but I mentioned you and your show to her some time ago because I thought the content that comes over these airwaves and through social media every day is that progressive that people need to be connected, not just in Chicago, but also I think there was an opportunity to connect what was going on with the Atlanta Cityhood movement in Chicago. And so one of the things that we often talk about here on the Mays Jackson Show is this phenomenon, which is not germane to Chicago, was happening in every major metropolitan area of black people being pushed out of these traditionally black cities, neighborhoods. And in this instance, we talk about the Southland, the South and Southwestern suburbs of Chicago. And my thought process is, while I do agree that whatever efforts we can take to try to lay hold and stay and engage with where our black people are in the city of Chicago, we should do so. However, the other side of that coin is if we are being pushed out or moving out into these areas, what can we do to reimagine the Southland? You know, when I went to U of I, I'm coming from the city, right? I never heard of Matson, Illinois. I never heard of Lincoln Mall. I never heard of these places. I'm strictly South Side, West Side. You know what I'm saying? And so when I got around the students who lived in these areas and who visited these things, they made it sound like it was like dope places to be, and I wanted to go. But I remember the first time I went to Lincoln Mall, and I was like, whatever this thing was, is not that anymore. And that started me to thinking, was it a situation where as black people started to move into these areas, were the resources drying up? And so now the thought was, what can we do to reimagine and take advantage of where we are? We may not like how we got here, but we're here now. And what can we do to exercise some self-determination? So fast forward, I'm in Atlanta. I meet Dr. Rice, and actually I met Dr. Rice at an event in DeKalb County. There's an organization called One DeKalb, and she took us through an exercise where she took a map of DeKalb County and laid it out into 4 quadrants. And she asked us in that session, think about what's going on in these neighborhoods and these areas and what specific industries can be cultivated from this area. And one quadrant is where the Centers for Disease Control is housed. And so she was saying that there can actually be a booming pharmaceutical industry that can come out because you have the research being done, and then you can develop a manufacturing sector, and we can tap into that. And there was another area that's more green located, former landfills. So there's a way we can convert some of that old trash and develop a green economy from converting that, doing these kinds of activities. So it really opened my mind. Years later, Dr. Rice invited me to a meeting in Stone Mountain, Georgia, of all places.
Stone Mountain? Oh, Lord.
And we were sitting at a table. I was Dr. Rice, Mayor Larry, and a sister named Sandy Johnson. Shout out to Sister Sandy. And what was going on, I was invited to a conversation about the Cityhood movement. And this was when Stonecrest, the idea of the city of Stonecrest, was still developing. It hadn't even gone through the process of being approved by the State House and being put on the referendum for the people to vote on it. But this is still bubbling. Years go on, Dr. Rice, once again, at the forefront of creating a city out of unincorporated South DeKalb. South DeKalb, Georgia, at one point in time, for your audience, was considered to be the second wealthiest county for black people in the country outside of Prince George's County, Maryland. Now, that dynamic has shifted, and I don't believe that, I don't know if we necessarily still hold that title, but the thought is, what she was advancing is, look, all these other cities around us are carving up something for themselves. And it's not primarily us that's doing the carving. And there's a lot of resources that's being sucked up, tax base, economic bases, and so forth. We need to get in on this, and we need to step up and create something that is ours, where we can lay hold. And so that was, at that time, it was called Greenhaven, but now it's been rebranded, and now we're looking at the city of DeKalb. And Dr. Rice is spearheading that. Mayor Larry went on to become the mayor of the city of Stonecrest, which is where the new Black Wall Street Market is located. I know many of you all in the audience, you heard about this, and people was coming in from all over the world to see what was going on in Stonecrest, Georgia. Mayor Larry was at the table with that. And so my thought was, let's bring these two pioneers in this movement with the media audience so we can start to think, put on our mind, look through their lens of experience and see what can we have in the Southland?
All right, so that is perfect, Brother Anthony, and this is what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I am going to start by turning the mic over very quickly. Hold on, let me get us up out of here. To Dr. Riis. Dr. Riis, welcome to the Mays Jackson Show. How are you today? Uh-oh.
I am good. Thank you. I want to say hello to you, first of all, to Anthony and Karima, Brother Anthony, Sister Karima, and hello to Mayor Larry. And I want to say hello to all the folks that are out there as well, too, all the kings and queens and brothers and sisters and all the other folk that are listening.
Thank you. Welcome to the Mays Jackson Show. We are honored to have you. Mayor Larry, welcome to the Mays Jackson Show. How are you today?
I'm doing really well and honored to be on your show. Thanks for having me, and certainly want to give a shout out to the folks that's down my way here that's on your show. I certainly appreciate it, and to the Queen of Cityhood, that would be Dr. Catherine Riis.
Wonderful. So let's go back to this Cityhood movement. When I think of Cityhood, I really tend to think of white folks trying to secede from areas that black people are in control of. And I've always looked at the Cityhood movement, or what my thought of it is, as racist, right? As a tool of racism to extract the best from our communities while still pulling out. When I thought about Cityhood, I thought about Buckhead. And I think there was a Cityhood movement to make Buckhead a city that was just beat back, but 40% of the resources or tax base of Atlanta is in Buckhead. I'm gonna tell you, when I came to Atlanta, I thought Buckhead was downtown. When I went downtown, I was like, this can't possibly be downtown. And then I thought Buckhead was all black, probably because I just went to Lenox Square Mall mostly. But talk to me about this Cityhood movement and why I should be looking at it not from the perspective of being racist. And it's obviously got to have something good for the people, because the white folks doing it for themselves. So help me understand that, Dr. Riis, Dr. Riis or Mayor Larry, either one of you.
I'll go ahead and start. That's actually what got me into this whole research and discussion and finally proposal of a city. We had the first city formed. It was Sandy Springs back into the early 2000s when the Republicans took over the state of Georgia. And Sandy Springs had been trying to form a city. Sandy Springs was predominantly white. It contributed a lot in terms of taxes to the Fulton County area. And so on one hand, you had the residents of Sandy Springs saying that we wanted to form a city and we're not doing it for any racial reasons. We just want to keep our tax dollars within our area. And the other big issue was we want to control our zoning and planning. On the other side of the issue, you had the black folk that were in the city of Atlanta proper saying this is a racial issue. And exactly the way you proposed it is how they were thinking about it. That was about 14 years ago or so, 16 years. And that's when I began my research to find out what the deal was concerning all of that. I think there's merit to both. If you're paying your taxes, then you do want to have your taxes support you. But what people don't talk about is that there's a relationship between the two, because a lot of the commerce, the businesses are up in Sandy Springs. And so when you take your dollar and you go shop up in the north, you're also helping to subsidize up there. So when they give their tax dollars back to the city, it is fair that it goes to be used for other than just their area.
Dr. Riis, let me stop you right there real quick, because I want to frame this for black folks here in the Chicagoland area. You mentioned Lincoln Mall.
Yes.
I want you to think about River Oaks. I want you to think about Ford City. I want you to think about all of the Dixie Mall, all of the places that when white folks occupied the Southland that were in our communities, right? And what you see now is all of that from the grocery stores to the mall to the shopping has all been condensed into the Orland and Tinley area, which means that everybody in the Southland, regardless of what community you live in, are drawn to the white communities, which is why Orland cracks and it looks the way that it does, because its parking lot is full of our people, and they are taking our tax dollars, spending them to beautify Orland, and then after you shop, have the police running through the parking lot giving you tickets on your things, because your revenue is almost like visiting revenue. They can rape, rob, and take your money and use it for their benefit and not hurt their own town. I'm sorry, Doctor, I'm going to give you the mic back.
There's one more thing I want to say, and that was to the second part of what you asked about. Is this a racial thing? And it must not be all bad because they're trying to do it. So the other thing I don't think that has happened is that people have not realized the benefit that we could take as well. In this country, we had the civil rights revolution, the civil rights movement, we call it. And that was to get us from having no rights to at least having rights that people like to think of as equality. But now it's time for us to take another step. We need to move forward from the civil rights movement to what I'm going to call the economic development movement. And that's where cities really come into play. It's not that it's just a tool for one group only. It's a tool that we can make for ourselves. But I think that it has to be done in a way that it works for us. And that's, I think, what we're going to discuss more a little bit later.
Wonderful. Mr. Mayor, welcome to the Mays Jackson Show, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. Tell us about being the founding father of the Stonecrest Cityhood movement. Why did you start it? I was looking in the Atlantic today. Boy, you got a lot of pages, man. You got a 41-minute read in the Atlantic right now. But help me understand this Stonecrest Cityhood movement, how it started, how it ended. Or not ended, but how did you become the mayor? And then talk to me about that experience and the transition.
Well, it actually started with Dr. Riis and I, as a matter of fact. We've been on this journey together for some years now. And I've had the fortunate of being able to get incorporated before or her opportunity has come up, but it will, and she will finish. But I've had an opportunity to finally convince a few white folks, and make no doubt about it, you cannot do this without white folks, that we didn't need their free lunch, we didn't need their tokens, we didn't need their discounts. What we needed as a majority African American community was the ability to hold our own. And after years of walking the halls with Dr. Riis and convincing people that we could carry our own water, and that's what it's about, carrying our own water. They allowed us, literally those terms, the majority white House of Representatives and the majority white Senate allowed us to be on the ballot and have a referendum, and it was passed through the State House, and then it went to the people, and we passed roughly 60-40. 60% was for cityhood, and it became a city in 2017, and 40% of us did not want us to become a city. I can honestly tell you that as African Americans, we're afraid of our own success. We're afraid of our own shadow. We're still waiting to be anointed by other races to get things done that we need to get done, which is a sad fact, but it's a matter of fact. Out of all likelihood and out of all things that should happen, Dr. Riis should have had Greenhaven approved at the same time, if not later, if not before Stonecrest. Because in this same area of captivation, these white cities, majority white cities, are coming through. Everyone that wants to become a city that's white they get an opportunity. And what Dr. Rice hasn't been approved for that yet. Her movement hasn't approved for that yet because the Negroes, the scared Negroes, won't allow.
Did you say the Negroes? Because Negroes always seem. So let me back up, because here's and let me not, because I'm go down the path. I done just had a little rough week last week. But let me go to that, because in another place they would say that you are spouting Republican ideals. But I do believe that somewhere in the universe, black people have been convinced that we are incapable of managing our affairs. Talk to me about, how do you get black people to not say, that's a Republican? Because it seems like when you say that, I could see the Democratic Party in the whole United States being like, black folks want to be self-determined. They want some self-determination. Talk to me about that.
So that's exactly, you hit it on the point, as Dr. Rice did. To be able to win our independence, we have to win our independence on the same battlefield that they're fighting on, which is the economic development, economic opportunities for ourselves. And one of the reasons that Stonecrest was put on the ballot is because white folks didn't feel threatened, that nothing was going to happen to them. Well, if they fail, they fail. If they win, they win. It doesn't matter to us. So that's how we end up making the ballot. So when people, I would be personally insulted if somebody thought that my views were Republican. My views are as black as you can get. Black money, black high school, black elementary school, black college, black wife, black kids. I'm as black.
Go ahead, man, Larry. Go ahead.
And so for somebody to even mention that, Republican views would be idiotic and insulting, because I know about black folks can take care of black folks. If we act like the Chinese, if we act like the Italians, if we act like the Polish, if we act like the same people that are taking care of each other. And that's the hard lesson that we have to learn. Here we are, we're afraid of our own success, but I wasn't. And that's how the creation of the new Black Wall Street, that's how the creation of Stonecrest, the largest majority African-American city created since Reconstruction, since right after slavery.
Teach.
And I will fist up anybody that's in the way that says different. So, but it takes that type of dogmatic opportunity and attitude to win in a red state of Georgia, with not only the majority white folks saying that we don't think that can happen, but the majority black folks standing there amening it.
Yep.
That's where the problem is, and that's why Dr. Rice can call me at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'll come out with any pitchfork she needs to get to where we need to go, because it takes a woman of grit and intelligence and super smart like Dr. Rice to just hold this in the road this long.
Come on, man.
I got lucky. And I was able to, quite frankly, threaten some people in a corner to make sure it happened. And it did happen, and I'm glad I did it. So now here we are, 60,000 plus cities strong, and one of the largest economic engines in the metropolitan Atlanta area, and we're going to continue to grow.
So let me back up, because now I want to, what you just hit on really made me think about something. Dr. Rice, your company, Building Quality Communities, focuses on the intersection between economic and community development. Oftentimes in our community, there is not a lot of discussion. Well, maybe down in Atlanta it is. But here there is often not a lot of discussion about the economic needs of our community. When you craft these communities, how do you ensure that it doesn't become a place where white folks just come starve us of resources and then come back and buy low?
That's a good question. As a matter of fact, right now we're being hit by the investor crisis, which is exactly that. Most Black communities are vulnerable. They're vulnerable because the housing is undervalued. They're vulnerable because they don't have a lot of access to capital. And therefore that puts them in a vulnerable position where they're often not in charge of the government, and therefore people can come in and do what they like. In our case, South DeKalb is probably the hardest hit in terms of investors coming in, purchasing real estate, and artificially manipulating the market to drive prices up. It's a extreme form of gentrification because when they purchase the housing, and for example, in my zip code, and there are 6 zip codes surrounding me that are in the same predicament, over 50% of the housing sold last year was bought by institutional investors, not your mom and pop investors, but Wall Street and things like that. So how do you position yourself so that you can deal with this? Now take Stonecrest, for example, which is right next door to us. While we have over 50% of our housing being purchased by investors, they have less than 15% being purchased by investors. Same thing with City of South Fulton. Same thing with Rex, all predominantly Black areas. The purpose of cities is to protect those boundaries, and a county cannot protect it the same way that a city can. You also have to be large enough to be able to afford the resources. So how do you build this base when it doesn't exist already? You have to get into training. You have to educate your populace and your leadership. You have to pay attention to economic development. You have to be aggressive about going out there and developing and planning. And that's why zoning and planning was the other area that all the other cities that have formed have wanted to control. We have to make sure that we take care of that.
So let me ask you, because it seems like you would be in a position to be set up for economic sabotage. I.e., if it's me, I then start to inflate costs. How do you build your infrastructure? How do you get to public works? How do you get all of the things in place that make a city go, right? So who does your sewer work? How do you, talk to me about what it took to like literally build a city? What form of government is put in place? Do you have to write a constitution or a charter to do this? What were the steps that it took and to become this? Because I do feel like there is an opportunity in the South. And let me back up. And then how did you get the ego out of it? Because it seems like you got to fight through the ego of people that are already in power and just getting people to collaborate to say, hey, y'all, we can actually do this.
Well, I think Mayor Larry spoke to the ego part, and the ego is the problem, and the ego is why our area has not yet become a city. And I give him a lot of credit because it took a lot of chutzpah, a lot of hard work to make it happen, and he did. And they're doing some good things there. You go back, how do you create a city? Well, just like your South Chicago area already has stuff there. We already have stuff here. So the question is, how does it shift from unincorporated to becoming a city? And so what most of these areas, including Stonecrest, did is you hire a third party that has already been working with cities. So they have been already working with the county, already working with the area that you're already in. And you transition by putting your vision out there and then working with these third parties to create your vision. But an infrastructure is already there. The question is, how do you improve some of the infrastructure that's not working? Like, let's take code enforcement, for example. Our code enforcement isn't working very well. our water and sewer isn't working very well. Well, the water and sewer stays with the county, but with the code enforcement, that's where you can bring in new technology. You can be innovative. You can hire people that will know how to utilize this new technology and put your vision out there. Here's what I want my area to look like. Work with the other people that are there and make it happen. That's what we're striving for, and I think Stonecrest has already done some of that.
All right, look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Couple things. I would love to open up the phone lines to give people the opportunity to ask questions. Would you all be open to that? If you will, I am going to open up the phone lines because I think this is tremendously innovative. Let me say that I did not know about this. But what I said was when I saw the migration of black people in Chicago to what we call our Southland, it seemed to me that we needed to tell our legislators that reached city and suburb to stop plowing our infrastructure dollars into the city and start plowing those infrastructure dollars into the Southland where our people were moving. Because even as our legislators thought they were winning for black folks, they was really just building the infrastructure for white folks to come take that back. Talk to me about how you've been received by black members of your state house.
Mayor, did you want me to speak on that, or you want to speak on that?
Yeah, I'll start with that. I am the number one threat on the planet. And
yes, you are. Yes, you 100% are. I can see everybody. Let me just say this: as a Democrat, as a political operative, I could see that. And if I was a black elected official that was already entrenched in the system or that was already plugged in, I would be adamantly against it, and I would be trying to choke you out because I would not want to have to bow down to you in about 2 years. Talk to me about how the State House, and talk to me about the Black Caucus of Georgia and how they've been working with you or not.
how about or not?
I've been there, my brother. I've been there.
Yeah. So, as Dr. Rice will tell you, it's not easy being pioneering has its drawbacks. Once you put your vision in place, what Dr. Rice spoke of earlier, it's called contract for service. We don't have one employee at the city of Stonecrest. We contract everything out. We made it better than that area could ever dream of becoming. And so to your point, I became a major threat to the establishment. And the establishment here is majority African American that are afraid to help us move forward. They're afraid to help Dr. Rice move forward for our own self-determination. I just find it unbelievable. So it's been a challenge, but I know that I'm on the right path from God. I know this for a fact. And let's talk about your area for a second, if you don't mind, because I know a little bit about where you all are.
I'm happy to hear it.
On the south side, you have the civil rights icon, retiring in Bobby Rush. And for the district that's in your area, you have some really progressive people. One in particular that's running for that area for his retired seat, which is Jonathan Jackson, who is Jesse Jackson's youngest son. The reason I bring him up, and the reason I bring up what's happening in your area here with Tweet Garcia and Roll Pana, is that it's going to take legislative power to move Chicago. It's going to have to be beyond what it is, what you have that's local. It's going to take Jonathan Jackson and Willie Wilson running for mayor. It's going to take those guys that emailing those folks, James, that's the godfather of all politics in Chicago, to help move your area on the south side into fruition, into the future. Now, where Dr. Rice and I didn't have that muscle because people are related to each other in the in the county and in Congress. So we couldn't get that kind of support. But you all can. You all can make it. You all can make it happen in this area to keep it going forward. So I said that just to say, and I hope every black person is listening to me. Don't be afraid of your own future. We can take care of ourselves. We're proving that in Stonecrest. Dr. Riis is going to prove it with the city of the cab. And I don't understand why we're in culture shock when the Jewish community, when the Italian community, when the Chinese community, when they want to take their own money and spend in their neighborhood. Well, take your own money and be black. Buy black, act black, be black, do, and watch how the economic power that we can have. We're just afraid to do it because we're the only culture that got drug over there instead of developing our own, bringing our culture.
Boy. You need to get that?
No.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
You all good?
I'm
good? You good?
I'm
All right, now look, I'm giving Brother Anthony the business, but Sister Karima, jump in the conversation. Talk to us. Talk to us. Now, do you all live in these towns?
No, we actually live in the city of Chattahoochee Hills, which is right next door to the city of South Fulton. And actually, we were looking at South Fulton first because I know a lot of the leadership there. Before South Fulton became a city, a lot of the former mayor, a lot of the department heads, I worked alongside them in Fulton County government. So it just, to me, it was logical that I would move into a city where I knew the leadership, I had a relationship with them. Unfortunately, the type of program that we were trying to qualify for to get our property, the zip code that city of South Fulton is, we were outside that boundary.
Got it.
So that's why we decided to land at Chattahoochee Hills.
So, Sister Karima.
Yes.
When y'all inviting us down to see some houses? How do we connect the dots is really what I want to know. How do we, because I got to tell you, there's a part of me that gets a little, like I love this idea, but I get a little nervous, right? You know, I feel like how we make sure that sometimes, we do tend to have challenges. What's the property value like is what I would understand. Like it seems like, so I know you talked about the inflated property value and the deflated. Is it a safe, nice community that you want to raise a family in? I'm talking
to a nice, safe community. That we just described our communities as some of the top black communities in the United States. This is a middle class community. There are spots in there that are poor or lower income, but in general, we're talking about a middle class black community.
Everybody cut their grass?
Yeah.
I'm just asking, right? I'm not trying. Look, this is me, right? And you know that sometimes, here's my thing. I'm not going to denigrate us for our challenges, and I want to be real that sometimes we have different issues that we all have not had the same experience. But I want to believe the best of our people and that we can put the best. And I think one of the things that I think about in doing this is, and I think you said you outsourced most stuff, but again, if our young people, if we can start to build up the city departments and the young people can work to build their own community, to be their own trash men, to be their own street sweepers, etc., then they will have a more vested interest in that. Talk to me about the development of jobs and contracts and opportunities and our black people benefiting from that outsourcing that's happening even.
Let's back it up a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
This isn't going to be the best experience. There's going to be bumps in the road. A city is not a panacea. But what Mayor Larry is saying, and what I believe, is that you start being independent. You got to be a man. You got to be a woman. You got to take your own. You got to be responsible for yourself. When you start being responsible for yourself, yeah, you're going to fall down a little bit. Be prepared. But the point is, if you don't start, you're not going to get there. So, I understand that, number one, people are scared. Number two, you're thinking, how will all this happen? So that's why it takes a little bit of time to, understand what is involved. But that is exactly what we're doing. Right now, almost all Black neighborhoods in the United States have undervalued housing, even if the housing is equal. Education-wise, we're not getting the best education. When you look at a number of different indicators, you find that very often our indicators are not up to average or par. Let's just say we start from there. You got to build. Look at some of our past people that we honor and respect and appreciate, like W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. All of them were telling us to take control of our communities. And that's why we had some outstanding communities. And I'm saying that we need to get back to that. We need to get back into the seat of taking control. And right now, we did that civil rights. And even though at the moment we're now kind of still fighting for civil rights, and it looks like we took a step backward, that shouldn't stop us from taking the next step forward, which is the economic rights. And we've got to put ourselves in a position where we can gather the resources and the money and the funds and the networks that are necessary to put ourselves in a position where we control our communities and we can compete with anybody.
So let me ask a question. Do you think that the people and the administration takes or has a special or unique mission if they undertake this, right? Like, I think the people that move to these towns and to these cities, not towns, does it require an additional level of commitment or dedication? And I ask, because we talk about those economic indicators, will the schools, will the things that our children get be better? Because it is Black run and we do have a vested interest in their success. Oftentimes I think in public school systems our kids get pumped through it because they really don't have a concern for them. Is there a special something that happens in these communities that brings Black people together by your experience, or no?
Go ahead, Mayor Larry.
In my experience with the developer and funders, first hire Black period, point blank in the story. And I found that
Mayor Larry, I'm sorry, I want to interrupt you. You're chopping up. I couldn't really catch anything, so maybe you can move your computer and check it for a second. Meanwhile, Dr. Riis, if you could try and jump in on that as well. Is there some, I feel like if I move to Blacktown, then I feel like it's got to be an extra special level of unity. And but I feel like I got to make a special effort to make it successful because I don't want to turn out like Liberia.
I think before Dr. Riis jumps in, I think that point about you as a citizen stating that I have to do something to make it what we envision it to be, that's very important, because I think most citizens, like I'm going to use City of South Fulton, for example, and to Dr. Rice's point, having a city is not a panacea. There's still going to be real work that has to be involved. And so some Black people in these areas, they feel like a switch is supposed to be magically flipped on, and life is going to be better now because you have Black leaders, Black people in leadership position, but it doesn't. Oftentimes what I've observed, particularly with South Fulton, is we become very patronizing. We become hypercritical. We just have a very bad spirit towards recognizing that we're going through a transition process. And one thing Honorable Louis Farrakhan teaches us, that when anything is going through a transition, that's the most dangerous time for that entity, because two things can happen. The entity could live or it could die. But that's where the citizens need to step up. We do our elected officials a disservice by thinking simply because you have a Black person in the leadership position that all of a sudden the magic wand is going to be waved and things are going to be better. The thing that I think with Mayor Larry is he creates space at the table for all citizens who want to come on and have their hands to the plow, so to speak. They now have somebody who comes from their neighborhood who's willing to give them a space and says, look, let's lock arms, let's work together to make this thing what it is. Whatever the issues are, the things that we need to be made better, we can sit down and we can discuss and have a conversation about it, and we can work together to make it a reality. But to enter into this thinking that somehow it's going to automatically be better, we are not being realistic in that sense.
Okay. I think you're right.
Where we're at right now, because there may be a misperception. We are a middle-class Black community because we live in homes where we have to mow the lawns. We have cars. We have families. It is mostly single-family residential, and people enjoy a good life. However, at the same time, in a space of about 122 square miles and 295,000 people, we don't have a coffee shop. We have to go to the north for almost everything we want to buy. We have to go somewhere else if we want to have any kind of entertainment. We have very few businesses that meet our needs. A copying and printing place, we have maybe a few small, tiny ones, but no franchises like Kinko. So even though we are a middle-class neighborhood, we do not have a lot of commercial or economic development. And forming a city, in my eyes, doesn't mean that every single person who comes in is now going to be Black, that every business that's going to form is now going to be Black. We're going to have other people come in as well, too. We have a large international population from Africa, from Asia. They have thriving businesses. I look forward to them coming in and purchasing. I look forward to some white businesses coming in because, as Mayor Larry said, you got to have some involvement. And right now, they're the ones that have the money. In Atlanta, we have what we call the crane watch, which means, because when you have a crane, you know, the crane, the tractors.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, big buildings. So this crane watches Metro Atlanta. South DeKalb or Southern DeKalb doesn't have any crane development. There's no development that's big enough. The tallest building in our area is the jail. This has got to stop. For a middle-class Black community, it should be much more developed. And that's what we're talking about. So when we talk about forming a city and when we talk about economic development being the next step after the civil rights movement, now we need an economic development movement, it's because we are still talking about equality and equity, both of those things.
And if I can just add something to this conversation briefly. Okay. I think it's not that we lack the legislative aptitude. What we lack is the vision. One of the things that I've noticed when it comes to us building our own cities is that we'll build our cities and then we'll inundate them, to Dr. Rice's point, with warehouses. We'll inundate them with liquor stores. We'll inundate them with mechanic shops, right? With businesses that don't offer employment opportunities that help to elevate the financial wherewithal of its citizens. And so when you drive into that community, the community looks depressed. One of the things that I noticed about the city of Stonecrest is that you have many different levels of business types. So you have businesses that are entrepreneurial endeavors that are doing quite well, and they're able to afford citizens a wonderful income. You've got areas where those who are like mid-level businesses and small businesses, they're able to offer really different levels of employment, therefore offering different levels of lifestyle. There's a sister who's a councilwoman in the city of South Fulton. One of the things that she did that I thought was superb is that she offered a shuttle. She wanted to pitch a vision that she had for certain community development. She offered a shuttle to take the citizens of that area to an area that was similar to what she wanted to develop. And I think sometimes we think that all of us are exposed to other realities that can be built and established in our communities, but we're not. I've worked with young people and their parents that literally have never been away from the 3-mile radius of where they live. And you're going to tell that person, hey, we need to bring cranes and build upward. They're not going to be able to even wrap their minds around the idea of that, because their understanding of what could be is limited. So it's valid. Yes, we need crane development. Dr. Rice, I'm all with you. But the point that I'm trying to make is we're pitching that to individuals that have no real concept of that being a reality in their community, and let alone for Black people. Because for many of us, we think, well, that's for other people. They are worthy or more worthy of having that level of development. So we have no problem traveling out to Buckhead for all of our amenities, because we don't secretly believe that we are worthy of that level of development.
Ooh, see how you be doing? Every time you come up in here, see, let me tell you, every time Sister Karima come up in here, she wind up hitting us with a sermon, right? And she hit us with a sermon. It's the church sermon, but it is the thing that I talk about this all the time about, I feel like our people have had no clue, as they don't even see themselves ever winning, which is why we like to fight to no end. We don't fight because we don't think we can win, but we be like, we gonna make sure you knew we were here. Now look, y'all, Mayor Larry, Dr. Rice, I'm gonna have to get y'all back here. Yes. We're gonna have to have some ongoing conversations. Yes. But the other thing we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to invite you up here, right? And we're gonna have to have a conversation and invite you to talk to our legislators and talk to I just think this is a conversation that we need to start having about self-determination. When I told you, Mayor Larry, that people would call you a Republican, when I listen to you, Dr. Rice, and I say people here would call you a Republican, it's because we don't see ourselves in control of our destiny. We don't see ourselves in control of our fate. And we do believe that everything happens to us. Now, I am not in any way, shape, or form suggesting that institutional racism doesn't exist. I think we can see it in every bit, from education to those economic indicators. There's 16 in Illinois, and Black people are at the bottom of all of them. So 100% agree with you, but I think we've got to start having these dialogues and connecting the dots, right? There was a downstate community in Illinois, about 3 of them, that they were run by Black mayors, but all of them individually were falling apart. They came together and created one municipality, and now they're thriving. Awesome. So what you're talking about is something that's happening. But it took a lot of ego removal. It took a lot of the displacement of traditional fiefdoms to put us in charge of our own vision. And I think when you talk about Black folks in Chicago, they always talk about Atlanta. Ooh, I want to go to Atlanta because it's the promised land. Well, realistically, when we think of Atlanta, a lot of times we think of Buckhead. But now we're going to have to start thinking of DeKalb. We're going to have to start thinking of Stonecrest, and start looking at that. Like, now when I come to Atlanta, I want to go see, I got to come to City Hall. I just need to say that. But I just want to thank you all for coming today. We're running out of time, and I got to get to an event tonight, or else I would run this conversation a little bit longer. But can I get you all to commit to coming back on the show? And if I can find somebody to pay to bring y'all up here, can I get y'all here to actually sit down and have these conversations with some of the people, particularly in the Southland?
Absolutely.
Look, I'll drive, Dr. Rice and Mayor Larry. Karima, I put the pedal to the metal, and I make the whole way there. We can have a wonderful road trip, so I'm down for that.
All right. Yeah, I'm telling you. And Mayor Larry, can we get you up here too, man? I think he froze. Is he froze?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me say this. Sister Karima.
Yes, sir.
You can bring Anthony anytime you want to. Okay? You can bring him anytime you want to, because this is your house. Brother Anthony.
Yes, sir.
Who I affectionately know and remember as Tony Rome.
Yes, sir.
Who has become an example and a shining beacon for people all the way from Atlanta to Chicago. Thank you for bringing this conversation to us.
God. Thank you for being receptive to it, brother. Please.
Oh, no. To Mayor Larry, to Dr. Rice. And I think we lost Mayor Larry. We done lost Mayor Larry. He coming back. He like, give me my spot. To Dr. Rice and Mayor Larry, we want to thank you for having this conversation. I think this is something that we may have bantered about, but to see, we've talked about it. But one of my favorite sayings is, we don't want to just talk about it, we want to be about it. And so it is my hope that we can get some more of your key learnings here in Chicago and figure out how do we connect this back, because this story that you're telling is happening in cities and suburbs all around. Exactly. And there's a model here that we need to make scalable. Look, y'all, I want to tell you all, thank you for being here. This is the Maze Jackson Show. It's 6:04, so somewhere you either on your way to the house or you already in the car. Shout out to all the shorties that are listening. Look, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I got Sister Karima, Brother Anthony in the building. I got Dr. Rice and Mayor Larry. I think I see Mayor Larry back in there peeking over the top. For DJ Riis the Ruler, for Ruthie Moore, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System